Welcome back to chapter 2. In this video, I'll be sharing 5 essential wallet safety tips or rules to keep your money safe. If you make them, you want to keep them. So make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Making videos is hard, so please a little support here, and I will be sharing the alphas, the 100x to 20x eventually down the road. Let's lay the foundations. I personally rewatched the first video. I was terrible, but you must know that you must learn the why. And then we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting to the execution part. We're setting up the environment you need, the tools you need to actually make investments. So bear with me. I will get to it. So what the hell is a DeFi wallet? Well, it's basically your digital bank account. A cryptographic string. It's words and alphabets all together that doesn't make sense, but it's essentially your bank account number that you use to send money, receive money, and interact with DeFi applications. What do I mean by that? When you interact with DeFi applications, you're interacting with a smart contract that actually, well, depending on your goals, you're lending money, borrowing money, staking, looping, or buying an NFT, minting an NFT. Every single action that you make with a protocol is interaction. Think of it as this: you are using a bank account to purchase some financial products from the financial institutions. It's just that in DeFi you interact with smart contracts. The characteristics are, well, the first thing, let's go from right to left. The first thing you should know that there are fees, like you do in traditional finance. There are fees required for transactions. More often than not, right now, it used to be expensive in the past, but right now is a few cents, even multiple zeros. So it doesn't really matter, but you should know because there are fees involved that are often in different currencies that you don't think about. Most of you think about USD based currencies, but instead you need some Ethereum, you need some Solana, Sui, Aptos, whatever you need. Whichever chain that you operate on, you need some of that currency to sign transactions, to make transactions happen. So know that. It's interactive. It's a gateway to your DeFi applications. Like I said, it's necessary to send, receive money, do anything. Basically, you execute certain actions to make money. Now, the most important thing is that it's self-custodial. You alone control the funds, and no customer service will be able to recover it for you. There is no government entity, there is no bank, nobody in the world can recover the money for you. So, which is why this video is so important. You must practice, well, at least 3 to 4 of these that I'm going to mention to keep yourself safe. Keep your money safe for those juicy 20x, 100x returns. For the sake of everyone who's an actual beginner, head to your Chrome Web Store, your App Store, or Google Play, and you search for Rabby Wallet. Now, why do I choose Rabby Wallet? Some of you might have heard about MetaMask, which is the OG. Well, they've been around since forever. I've been using them for years, but they haven't improved. And Rabby Wallet actually helps you have a clear picture of your portfolio and your investments, and most importantly, it tells you, well, to a certain degree, the popularity of the site. If you interacted with this protocol before, there are tons of features that Rabby Wallet does better. So, without getting into the details, this is not a video, a wallet comparison video, so please go ahead, download the Rabby Wallet. I'll just remove it from Chrome because, well, apparently I do have it. I'll just log back in again. Now, I'll do this along with you guys downloading right now. When you get to this interface, unless you have an address that you like to import, then it's a different story. This segment of the video isn't for you. You create a new address and you show the seed phrase. These are the passwords that I've been talking about, and it's okay for me to show you these phrases right here because I'm not actually going to use this wallet, but this is essentially me showing the world, everyone, my password. Understand this. This is what's happening on screen. So make sure that you write it down. Brings me to my first point. Number 1, write it down. Your seed phrase, your password, only you have it. So please write it down. For God's sake, do not have a digital copy. You write it down on a piece of paper. No screenshots on your phone. No pictures, no sending it in Gmail, storing it in whatever notes app that you have. You don't share it with anybody in the world. You don't, unless you plan to share your money as well, then, well, please share it with me. And store it in a secure location. That piece of paper is essentially the only thing that keeps your access to your money that you store in that wallet. If you give me your seed phrase, I don't even need to know your wallet address. I can just log in with these seed phrases and take your money out. Most of the time, calling the cops, calling anyone won't help you. There are some certain exceptions, but you don't want to go there. This is the reality of DeFi. There are insane yields, substantially higher than what you get in traditional finance. But it's also it's a jungle. It's the wildness. There are bad actors that are out there to get your money. So write it down. Practice number 2, or rule number 2, I should say, separate addresses. I know that this might not make sense for some of you, especially in the beginning, if you don't have a lot of protocols that you use or you're not making huge investments, you don't want to go through the hassle. But eventually, when you get more seasoned with DeFi, you want to do this. You have one main wallet for your long-term holdings, and you have minimal transactions here and there, maybe 1 or 2 every single month, or even in months. And then you have one active trading wallet, whether you're trading on a DEX like Hyperliquid, or you're just making transactions loops every single day with trusted protocols in smaller amounts. And the third one, which is I would call a degen wallet, is one you try with smaller amounts of money and with the relatively unsafe or newer protocols that have a higher ceiling. This is how you keep yourself safe. So if one wallet gets compromised, the others are unaffected. You don't lose all your money at once in case something actually happens. Which I would say, for the experimental wallet or the degen wallet, be prepared to lose it all. Be prepared to lose it all. That's, say you're comfortable with losing $1,000. That's the cap for that wallet. That's the cap for the amount you put in that wallet. So when you actually lose it, if you actually lose it, you're comfortable. Rule number 3, use a cold wallet. Well, what's a cold wallet? Invest in one, such as Ledger or Trezor. I know there are plenty of other options out there, but these are the ones that are the most popular. I'll go with them. And what it does is it stores your keys offline. Essentially, you're not connected to the internet. They are the hackers. They don't have access. They cannot get access to your private keys because it's stored offline. And it's protected from malware, and there's a physical confirmation. Oftentimes you have to actually click on a button on that device to make transactions, which, kind of authenticates that it's coming from you and is ideal for larger holdings. for whales or people who actually have millions in investments, whales or people who actually have millions in investments, you use a cold wallet to store it for the maximum security level it's possible. Rule number 4, read what you sign. You check the transaction details, the amount, the recipient, the gas fees, and verifies contract permissions, the access, the level of access. What kind of details do these smart contracts want from you? And for the sake of this video, instead of just talking, I am going to demonstrate with just one transaction so you know what happens. Okay, for the sake of making this video, I'm going to share, well, this is part of my money, a random protocol that I'm actually trying out on Bear Chain. This is not an alpha. I am not suggesting that you invest in this, especially given that, you know, it's LP, there are some potential losses here. This is just me testing out a protocol with, well, $240. So first thing you do, connect a wallet, select Rabby, unless you're using others, which, you know, hey, get out of here. Use Rabby, and what you see is the site popularity. Here is medium, meaning, you know, there are a certain level of activities, smart contract interactions with this site, and you can actually add a remark for yourself to save the site so you know what it is. Yeah, you know, you have some memo. Now, actually claim fees. What happens? You sign a transaction. Simulation results. You're getting some honey, a token, and some ETH back. That's what happens, and these are the gas fees that you're gonna pay, which is, well, you don't even want to think about it. This is what happens in the transaction, but you actually have to read which each action is going to give you. What kind of permissions are you granting? Now this one's a little hardcore. Isolation, rule number 5. You can use separate browsers for DeFi, separate accounts, a separate email account even, and with no unnecessary extensions. You know, extensions can contain malware that actually hacks your wallet, takes your seed phrase, whatever, and there are tons of links that are phishing links which can actually drain your wallet. So don't. And well, in practice, isolation at its highest level is having a dedicated computer to access DeFi. What it means is that there are no gamings, you do not play Fortnite, you do not log on to your TikTok, your Instagram, whatever social media, nada. You do not do anything, you do not click on any other links. It's a dedicated device for actually just investing. This is DeFi safety at its highest level. I do not expect any of you to actually try it on day one, but you know, if you're serious about keeping your money safe, you should do it. And you should never actually use public computers or Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi networks to access DeFi. That is for your own safety. Keep your money safe, guys. Now, I could go on and on about different tools, but that's not the main point of this video, and this video is running for way too long already. So, to summarize your DeFi security checklist, please, at least, let's see, number 1, number 2, and number 4. You should at least practice 3 out of 5. If getting a cold wallet is not an option, if isolation is not an option, the least that you could do is write it down, read what you sign, and keep separate wallets for different investments. Keep your money safe. I will get to the making money part, but that's it for this video, chapter 2. It's been long-winded, dragged out, but essential. See you in the next video.